Hola. So, I am home in Costa Rica and I leave to come back to the United States tomorrow. I am really sad. like, really sad. However, I have really good news, which is I come back in December. Well, I guess I could say January. I come back in December, but starting January, I will have a year lease. This will be my first time being a leaseholder in Costa Rica. Usually I go through Airbnb and or just get off books, but I will be a leaseholder here come January. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. My rent is $500. I found a school for my son and his tuition is $600. So I will be coming out of pocket $1,100 a month. Let's add $200 for, I don't pay Wi-Fi, but for the other stuff. So yeah, $1,300 is what I'll be paying a month. I told you guys that I would welcome you on the journey of what it takes to make what I need, at least a portion. I'm gonna set a goal of either two goals. Well, I'm deciding between the two goals because I'm letting you guys in on the whole process, as I told you I would. Option number one is I pay as many months of rent as possible in advance with the goal of generating income like online or whatever while I'm gone, to which basically would be like, let's say I was able to pay for 6 months before I left the United States, like have it in my account and ready. Then I basically, in my mind, I have 6 months to make sure I get what I need for the other 6 months. That's option one. Or I can think of it like I need to be able to pay 3 of everything. So rent and my son's school. And then I'll have 3 months to figure out how to move going forward. Basically, I got 3 months of time to figure it out while I'm here, kind of thing. Or within the time still while I'm in the States working. But once I decide, the next step is deciding which track I want to go. Do I want to just make sure my rent is covered, which is the route I usually go, and I just figure the rest out. But because my son's tuition is also, I'm just like lumping it in with rent now. I think that's how I'm going to do it. That way there's never any like mix-ups about tuition not being paid or anything like that. In which case, I'm going to make $1,300, as many $1,300 as I can between now and December to pay for however much of rent and school that I could take care of in advance. So, laying it on the table, what happens next? Today is my last day in Costa Rica. I go back to the United States. I'll be back in the United States tomorrow night. As of 2 days ago, I started applying for places. I have a conditional offer at one of my old warehouse jobs. I was working there when I was in Savannah. So, yeah. So that's that. I already know how much I'll be able to. Let me go back some. I'm only going to be in the United States consecutively for 6 weeks. So that's how much time I have to make as much money as I possibly can, which means warehouse is the first thing that comes to mind, right? Obviously, I'm going to have to get 1 or 2 more little part-time jobs or do Uber, DoorDash type shit. But I have the main job, and I always do a main job and then part-times. They're all part-time, but main job and then little puzzle piece jobs. That way the main job is taking care of the biggest thing. So I already know how much I'm going to be making there because Human Resources did tell me what I got the calculator. So boom, it looks like I'll have, within 6 weeks, I'll have exactly enough for 3 months of rent, tuition, and bills. That's a really great start. That's what I can do in 6 weeks time. The reason I only have 6 weeks is because after those 6 weeks, we have a 9-day cruise, leaving out of California. And then I'll have, I think, a week. Let me look at the calendar. I'm planning this in real time with you guys, so you guys are like here on a little planning session with me. I get back from California on the 7th. I'll have literally 5 days before the next trip starts, and the next trip is going to be Canada, so I can work in those 5 days, and have that be like a vacation or whatever. Put the time in as for vacation, but in those 5 days that I'm back, I can work. And that'll at least take care of either rent or his school, those 5 days. And then I'll be gone for a month to Canada. So I would go on either a leave of absence, or I'll go down to the warehouse that I'll be at. They have this version where you only work, as long as you work 2 shifts in the month, basically. So I would switch over to that, which that becomes a later thing, because idea. Okay, that's later. All right, so boom, I'll be in Canada for a month, and then I'll go to Atlanta for my baby cousin's wedding. Cassia, I'm so proud of you, okay? And then from there, I come back to Costa Rica for a month in October, and that is a business trip. It's a business trip. So while I'm in Canada and while I'm in Costa Rica, the plan and the mission and the goal would be to have been monetized, whatever needs to be monetized. So I'm still making money while I'm out of town for those 2 months. Then I get back to the United States around the 10th of November. And I will be able to work until the 16th. So that's 6 days of work. Again, that'll be another month of rent paid. So now we're looking at 5 months total of rent paid. We go on the cruise for a week. And then I'll be back in New Orleans working again I'll probably stay for 3 weeks, so through Thanksgiving first, blah blah blah, because I was supposed to go to Puerto Rico, but you know, plans is changing, baby. That trip can be next year, so I can make sure this year is taken care of. So the smartest version of the plan would be to work 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 weeks, because if I work for 4 weeks, that'll be another, let me do the math. If I work for 4 weeks, I'm not a mathematician, guys. 70 times 4 weeks. Okay, that is, and then take off taxes. Ooh. Divided by 1,300. That's 2 months of rent. So that's 2 months of everything. So I started with 3 months of rent being paid. 3 months of everything being paid, plus 2 months of rent. So what I would do is those 2 random weeks that I was talking about, I'll add those and just make that 1 more rent thing of everything. Sorry. So now that's 4 months of everything that's paid, plus the 2 more that I just talked about. So I am at 6 months of everything paid off, and that is from 12 weeks of working, and that's just the main job. 12 weeks of working will get 6 months. That's only the main job. I do plan on the shift that I will be working is going to be 2 to 7. So, which means I have wiggle room. I can work a fast food job before I go in and just do a 4-hour shift. So, let's say Wendy's closes at 2 o'clock. I gotta be to work for 2. So I can tell them I can work from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I can work for 5 hours, 8 to 1. And then when I get off at 9 a.m., I can work somewhere like, let's say TJ Maxx or something, from 9:30 to 1:30. That's 4-hour shift. So both of those jobs probably gonna be like $12 an hour pay, or 13. I don't know what Louisiana's at now, but when I was in other places it was at 13 and 14. But I know that Louisiana's different because we're behind, and that's their business. So let me just put it at the same amount of hours and play around with that real quick. So let's say $12 an hour, and I'll do a 4-hour shift, times 5 days a week, times month. All right, so taking taxes off, that's looking like $800 a month. So 4 weeks, $800. And if I'm at working 12 weeks there, yeah, so it'd be quote unquote 3 months altogether, with the time off and stuff like that, because I would have to go on a technical leave or just let them know, or I might just be like, hey, something came up kind of thing. Like, I'm very transparent when it comes to jobs. Like, listen, I do this and this is how my life goes kind of thing. Anywho's, but yeah, so let's say 800, let's say the same 12 weeks, so times 3, that's $2,400. That's gonna go towards paying off credit cards. I'm not even gonna pretend like that needs to go to Costa Rica. I'm just gonna take care of what I need to take care of in the States with that money. All right, boom. So back to the actual plan. I now have 6 months of rent, 6 months of school, and 6 months of bills in Costa Rica paid off, right? I have between now and that 6 months, so a year from now, to figure out how I'm gonna bring in money. And I do a lot of things. You guys should support my ebook that just recently launched. It is a blueprint for mommies and parents in general, who want to start creating a legacy, a digital legacy for their children, something for them to have, go back, look at, read, feel, and love, and feel loved through. More on that later, but I just wanted to let you guys in on the first part of how, and you saw how like all of that came right now, all of it made sense in real time. So what I'll do now is write it out on paper, because there are different avenues, different versions, where it doesn't have to be a fast food place in front of, but it also would make sense for it to be one. So as of right now, it's looking like I'll be working, how many hour days? 7 at the warehouse, 5, that's 12, so 16-hour days. That's not abnormal. A lot of people do it in a lot of different fields. I've worked 20-hour days, and it's for a short amount of time, and it's to get me where I want to go. One of my biggest things that I always say is, if I'm gonna be living paycheck to paycheck, I would rather be living paycheck to paycheck somewhere I'm happy. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I'm not gonna sign up to be miserable and be paying bills. It's the same thing in reverse. They the same comments. To be completely honest, if I'm gonna be living paycheck to paycheck, I would rather just at least, like, if I'm gonna be figuring it out anyway, and I hate having to figure it out, but at least I'm figuring it out to be home, somewhere I want to be, somewhere my heart feels safe, comfortable, my body feels safe, comfortable, my mind feels safe, comfortable. wellness wise, I am well nurtured and well taken care of in this place. So I'm going to do anything I need to do to make sure in the little time I have in the United States, I'm going to maximize it, and I'm going to make sure that I am able to live the lifestyle that I want to live. Yeah. Welcome to this journey with me, guys. I'm so happy to share it with you, for you guys to be on it and to see how practical it can be. And again, I'm not going into this with no bills. I have a shit ton of bills. I'm going to be paying what I can as I can while I can. But the priority is getting home. The priority is making sure I take care of as much as I can take care of here in advance. So when I get here, my focus can truly be on me, my son, and the life that I plan to be nurturing inside of me while building business and community here. That is my goal. That is my mission. That is what I am working towards. That is what I'm working on. That is what will be happening. So I don't know how I'm going to set these videos up. I don't know in what increments or what days or how, whatever, but I just wanted to share with you this first part of this journey, which is I now found a place here. I now found a school here. I have a job that's lining up. Everything is falling into place. I want to take a second. I'm sorry. I know I'm ending this. I want to take a second to say, when you truly begin to surrender to what you're supposed to be doing, things just happen to fall in place. And that's such a beautiful feeling to know that I did not come here to find a place. I didn't come here. I just came here to be close to nature. I came here to be home. I needed to, after the year and a half that I've had, I just needed to be home. And I'm leaving with the promise of having a home when I come back home. And my son, y'all, I ain't about to be on nobody's internet crying, so I'm about to end this right now. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful. I look forward to this journey and y'all seeing how, because I'm gonna show all y'all of it, okay? I'm gonna show y'all this stuff. It's gonna be me being tired. It's gonna be days where I'm exhausted. It's gonna be days where I'm trying to figure out how to put a little bit more money in the pot. And those moments are gonna be amazing too, because they're gonna get me back home. And I deserve that. Period. I will see you guys later. And thank you for joining me again. Y'all asked for this, so y'all better support.